Good morning, everybody. This is Terry with Gateway to Counseling. Welcome to the Ask Terry Show. We do come to you guys live here on our Facebook page Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays about 8:15 to 8:30. You are able to ask any questions that you may have. You can send them to me through Messenger. I won't use your name, or you can interact with me live here. So, today's question is not really a question, but more of a statement, right? Of, my father has passed away, and I regret not talking to him before he passed. Well, what I can say, and I'm assuming that you're asking, you're feeling bad about this. You're regretting, you're living in the yesterday of what you could have done differently. The first thing I'm going to say is, let's not have regret. We do the best we can at the moment of the situation, don't we? It's always easy to play Monday quarterback from Sunday's game, right? Always easier. If I would have done whatever, right? And so, as you can tell, I'm excited about football season starting. But, it's easy to look back and say what we would have done differently. But we can't go back, right? And especially in this situation, your father is now deceased. So we can't go back and say those things. But we can be in the present. I don't know exactly what was going on between you and your father. What I can say is that when we're going through our day-to-day situations, we are collecting information. We're collecting data. And when we're collecting that data, we're making a judgment based on the information that we have at the time. Now, the information we have might not be the best information. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you haven't spoken to your sister in months, right? And you're not speaking to her because someone told you that she made a statement about you that really upset you. You were told, for example, that she called you some bad names and talked about your parenting skills, and you got really offended by what you were being told by another third-party person. And so you just never even spoke to her again. And somebody told her that you were mad at her, and she decided, well, I don't know what I did, but if she's going to be mad, I'm not even going to talk to her. And now you guys are not speaking over what was really maybe a misunderstanding, right? And so I would say that you don't gather information from third parties in that fashion, that you actually go to that person and say, hey, what's going on? This is what I'm hearing. I don't know if it's true or not. I know that it's upsetting me, but I wanted to face you, woman to woman, man to man, woman to man, and talk about what's going on. Now, that takes a lot of courage, doesn't it? It takes a lot to go to the person who you think has said something about you and handle the situation in an adult fashion. However, if you and that person exchange really heated words and that person told you, for example, I think your parenting skills are awful. I think you're, a disgust. I think whatever. And they told you personally what they thought of you. Then you have that concrete information from them, right? And then you can make a decision on how you need to proceed in your relationship with them. And at that time, you might make a decision that it is best that you don't communicate with them. And I don't know how long that might last. Your feelings might be really hurt. You might not be able to forgive them for what they said about you. You might say, you know what, this person has been saying these things to me for a long period of time. And you might decide that it is best for you emotionally to detach from that person. So in this situation of the question today, where this person regrets not communicating with their father who is now deceased, I don't know if it was something like that, where you didn't know. I mean, you guys had a heated exchange and you made a decision that it was a very toxic relationship for you and you needed to have more peace in your life. Well, if that was the decision you made, then that was best for you at that time. And therefore, we don't have regrets. You see what I'm saying? Like, a regret is feeling that you could have done something differently and you didn't make the best decision at the time. I have very few regrets in my life because I know that at that precise moment, I made the best decision for me that was possible. I'll give you another example. So I ride a Harley, and several years ago, we were driving out to the country, and I was on my motorcycle by myself. Kids were in another vehicle. I had left them long before. Didn't even realize it, but I had left them long before. So I'm driving down this country road that I've been on maybe once or twice. And I'm doing about 60 miles an hour. And I see a sign, something that says sharp left, sharp right. I'm in 40 miles an hour. And I'm thinking, crappy bappy, I'm doing 60 and I can't slow down fast enough. There's a ditch right in front of me, right? And I can see quickly that I am going to be hurt severely. And so what did I do? I decided to lay it down there on the concrete. Basically, what I was doing was jumping off the bike. The bike lay down, but not on me. I, skidded. I had on blue jeans and thick boots and things like that. I did hurt my knee. I did hurt my foot just a little bit. I still have 2 scars to this day to remind me of that accident. And there was a person apparently in a vehicle right behind me, and he stopped and helped me and things like that, and followed me to where I was going to make sure that I was going to be safe. And he said to me, he said, I saw you panic. He said, I saw your body motion change when you saw the sign. He said, you had enough time to slow down and make that turn safely. He said, but I saw you panic and then you jumped. And so, he was behind me, but I had not, and he actually rode a Harley as well. But that day he was in his car, and he said, you had enough time, you would have made it. I didn't know that. I didn't have confidence in that. So I made a decision based on the information that I had. 1, it was a sharp turn. 2, I was unprepared. 3, I was unfamiliar with the area. And 4th, I didn't know what was coming after the left because it said another sharp right. And so there was actually some yards in between the 2. But I didn't know that. What I'm saying to you guys is, we make decisions based on the information that we have. So we can't have regrets about not making a good decision unless you've been following a pattern of not making good decisions, right? And then you might need a little assistance on how to evaluate a situation and make better decisions. So in this situation, don't have regrets of not communicating with your father, okay? Instead, do something now. For example, write him a letter. Yeah, I know he's passed away, but you need to express yourself. You need to say what's on your mind. And guess what? The chances are he's going to hear it. God hears it, right? Chances are he might hear it too. What I promise you is that when you write that letter and express all the things you wanted to say, it will make you feel better. And then take it one step further. Actually, read that letter to a loved one. Maybe someone that you guys connected to together. Maybe one of your siblings. Maybe your mom. Whoever that person may be. Maybe your grandparents. Read that letter, right? And then maybe even go to the gravesite and leave that letter there at the gravesite, right? I honestly believe that will bring you so much peace about this situation. And then you can move forward into making better decisions about the people who are still here. It amazes me when people want to go to a funeral of someone that they hadn't spoken to in 10 years, but they're also not talking to anyone that's still alive in that family. You know what I'm saying? So don't just have regrets of that I didn't talk to this person. Think about, what are you going to do differently now about the people who are still alive now? I was visiting home, Louisiana and Beaumont, over the weekend, and I was told about a friend of mine who passed away. It was a sudden death. She had an accident at work, and it was an awful, awful accident. And I hadn't seen her in about 4 years. I do communicate with her brother on a regular basis. But my communication with him is short. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I did try to have contact with him for Easter. He was busy. I was in town. He never comes this way, by the way. But I just thought, I need to do a little bit better, right? I need to do better with communicating with the people who are alive and here now. Those people that I call my friends. I know that we all get really, really busy. And I've given you guys this challenge before because I've done it before during the Easter season, where every day I reach out and touch and connect with somebody that I haven't seen or spoken to in a while, right? And Facebook doesn't count, guys. We think that because we're reading each other's stories and posts and things like that, that we're actually staying in contact with each other. But we're really not. So I'm going to encourage you guys to reach out and touch somebody that's still alive here today so that we don't have those regrets later. I'm going to actually end a little bit early today. I am not feeling well, guys. So please, if you guys need anything from us, we are just a click away. Enter our gates into a brighter tomorrow where you are in control. Bye-bye.